Today we're getting ready to have one last till of where we like to put our pumpkin patch. Uh, we know it's shady here in the morning, but in the afternoon it gets a lot of hot sun, and we tried this a couple of years ago and it works great. Uh, over the past few years, we've had a couple of loads of mulch dumped here, and I've got a small, just an electric tiller, and I tilled it in, and it seems to be, you know, doing pretty good, and it's a pretty good spot. And it gave us a good handful of pumpkins the past time when we did it. One thing that we noted last year when we planted them way too early because they were ready. The pumpkins were all ready like in early June. So this year we're planting in late June. Actually, I'm going to plant them July 3rd, and we're in North Texas in hopes of the pumpkins will be ready closer to time for Halloween or for fall decoration, if you will. So, what I'm going to be using here is a Sunjoe electric tiller that I have. I bought this on Amazon, and I've used it now for a couple of years. In fact, you can see from the tines, uh, we've got a lot of roots and things like that here. Debris gets hung up in these tines, and I occasionally, maybe once or twice a season, clean all of that out. But for the most part, I don't worry about it. I just keep using it, and it's a pretty good tiller. It's adjustable. You can get it, adjust it to different depths. The handles fold up on it, and it is electrical. And I got a really good, high quality 100-foot extension cord that I use with it. And for home residential use, it works fine for me. So we're going to get set up and just show you a little bit of tilling as we, again, get ready to prepare to plant our pumpkins later this week and see what happens. Okay, so you saw us tilling up our pumpkin patch for this year. And in previous years, we just went in and kind of mounded up or made some rows and planted the pumpkins like in 2 or 3 rows all the way up and down this strip. And it worked, but it just got very, very busy. And one time we were even back here tending to the plants and checking them out. And I'm not sure if we surprised him or he surprised us, but we came upon a coral snake. So we were like, got to watch where you're walking and watch what you're doing back here. But anyway, we're going to try something different this year. We've got landscape fabric like this that we're going to take and unroll the whole distance of where we want to plant, just one roll. And this is 4 feet wide. We're going to unroll it the whole distance of where we're going to plant. And then we've got these landscape pins or stakes that we're going to stake it like around in various locations to help hold it down. And then I'll show you, we're going to come back and decide how far apart we want our plants. And I'm probably going to put maybe 3 to 5 seeds in each hole that we open up. But I've got another cool tip that I'm going to show you how to open up the holes in this landscape fabric. So what we're also trying to help with is hopefully this will help keep some of the weeds down, and we can maintain, the plants better and kind of tell what's going on with the actual pumpkin vines. These stakes are fairly easy to put in. I believe these are 6 inch. So you needed some longer. They actually have these at your landscape supply stores, your big box stores, irrigation places, places like that. What do you think, Grandma? I can keep the landscape crew off of this now. We'll be okay, right? So how far apart do you think we are to make the little locations for the plants? Well, I know what they say, but we do what we want, usually. I was thinking about like 3 to 5 or more seeds per hole that I'm going to put in. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah. Well, and we don't have ideal conditions back here because of the shade in the morning. It would really be better if this was sunny all day, but it's not, and we just make do with what we've got. Okay, we've got our fabric down, and the next thing I'll show you here in a minute is we're going to measure off how far apart we want them, and I'm going to show you a neat way to open up a place in this fabric without having to cut it to actually plant your seeds. And then we're going to wait. We're going to let this sit until July 3rd. That's when I have it marked on my Google Calendar to come back and actually do my planting. Okay, so here's my tip. It's just nothing more than a propane bottle with one of these small torches on it, and I've got it going. And we've decided that we're going to put a hole in the fabric every 3 feet. And we don't need a big hole, just maybe big enough, to get the seeds in, right? Maybe about the size of a can of vegetables or something. Or you can tell me on this first one what you think. And I'm just kind of getting it in the center here. And I'm just going to go down and just gently burn a hole like that. So then I'm going to step over 3 more feet, do the same thing. It's just easier to do this than try to get down on your hands and knees or cut the holes. It's fast, it's easy. Simmer down. That was what my question was going to be. If you torch the hole underneath, it is bark mold. There is a lot of bark in there, yeah. And then I don't have my tape measure down here, so I'm going to just guess. You think? Kind of like that? Huh.
You use the matchlight? Try the matchlight.
Yeah, it works.
Oh yeah.
And so if you don't have one of these torches, you can just use a lighter for a grill lighter. Okay, so like I said, we'll circle back on the 3rd with the planting of the seeds and see how this goes. Something new we're trying. So we decided not to actually show you the planting because we think for the most part you can figure it out, follow the directions for the most part on the packages of seeds, but these are what we planted. I think we got a couple of these at the big box store, and a couple of them, the packages of seeds, we got them at the dollar store. All right, here's an update. It's been 4 days and we've already got something growing here. Pumpkins, you can see here. And have to excuse those cicadas. They're a little bit confused. They usually get going late in the evening or in the middle of the night, but for whatever reason they're going this afternoon. And this one here, it's really showing off. And nobody there yet. Yeah, there's somebody down in there. One showing here. One here. One here. There's actually several. And it looks like we're starting to get one peeking through right there. So we'll see. And we're gonna have to pay attention to them because we've had squash vine borers on other stuff this year already, and it just annihilated those vines. So I've heard that they can do the same thing to pumpkins, but we'll see how it's going.